We have Cujo, lay down, don't start. It's amazing. It's like he can tell what time it is. Jeff is also here, but he's airbrushing a project, so that's why you will hear the compressor. Now, I need to get a screen so I can read what you guys have to say. Just one moment. Cujo, come lay down. So, how's y'all's day been? Ours has been fairly busy. Enough. But it's been good. Oh, Susan, you got your mystery box. I'm so glad you loved it. That's important to us. So the first thing I'm doing is, okay, well, let me back up. This is a resin piece that we did not too long ago. And I've decided I want to add a second layer, but I want the second layer to have this holographic iridescentness to it. So what I'm going to do is mask off the area that I don't want the second wave, which will have this in it. And then I'm going to use a spray adhesive to get some sticky down. Put the cellophane down. And then we're going to add the second layer of resin. B, are you still using that masking paper that you have on your or like, are you leaving it there? I'm just not going to waste this if you're about to take that off and throw it away. But if you're going to leave it there, cool.
I honestly, I don't think I'm going to leave it here. So let me see what I'm doing. And then,
Hello, Katie and Sydney. You just started Thursday over here in Australia. Oh, well, awesome. Hey, Shane. Sue. Maureen. Patricia. Can't say I want to tell Erica and Jeff they got a big shout out from Tammy Anderson on her resin video today. Well, we love Tammy. Tammy's amazing. I got to hang out with her. Hi, Bobo. I got to hang out with her in Belize. We did some resin together. It was a ton of fun. I'm just going to do this. Okay, so she's such a good person. She is as genuine on, like, in IRL as she is on camera. Cujo, enough. Sweet boy, go lay down. He is a sweet boy, but cheese and crackers. It's like he knows we're live and he doesn't want anyone to have any attention right now. Only Cujo's. So it looks like Rupert, calm down. I just gave him some medicine, you guys, so he should be feeling a little bit better real soon. So this is not the kind of masking paper that we usually use, but Jeff is using this for his airbrush piece.
it was in the same area, I believe. I think they might be switching it up.
This is from Duck.
It's just,
Bye, Patricia. Hello, Julie, Tim, Megan. Sonette, did I say that right? Beautiful name. I'm sure I messed it up. Hi, Valerie. Susan. Yes, welcome, Julie. I really appreciate you guys coming over and seeing what we are up to over here on a resin channel, all the way from Tammy's awesome. Well, she does more than acrylics. You know what I mean? She's amazing at all the things that she does. All right, so with this, I have to decide where I want my second wave to be. And I don't want to be too far forward because then you risk a breach. Dude, this stuff is stickier than the other stuff. You don't want to risk a breach from your second wave coming over across your first wave. So I do want to cover a little bit of this right here because I'm not a fan of how that looks. So I'm going to be a little bit close right there, but the rest of it will be further back. Betty, how are you doing? We've missed you. I'm going to be using an X-Acto blade to cut everything. If you haven't worked with one before, just be careful. They're very sharp and they don't play. So what I'm going to do is cut the shape of the wave, but I'm going to use my nail to just draw it out first. To make sure I like what it looks like, and I don't think I do. So I'm going to just kind of erase it with my hand. You kind of have to decide what areas you want to be showing. All right, I think we like how that looks. And the reason why I'm masking off is because I don't want this area to be sticky when I use the spray adhesive on the back bit. Tudor, Nancy, you're so what? Oh yeah, it's gonna look super nice. I don't want the second wave to if I cut a little bit too deep, I can see it, the cut in my resin. So be careful with the X-Acto blades. They're sharp if you don't know. And if they're not sharp, get a sharp one. More accidents happen from dull blades than sharp ones. Okay, now we've got our shape. Well, I guess you can kind of see what it's going to look like. So now I'm going to take some this Super 77 from 3M. Move everything that I don't want to have sticky on it because this stuff kind of goes everywhere. And I'm just going to do a light spray. Sorry, I just noticed something I don't like. It's kind of, the end of my paper was right here, so It kind of has a sharp ending. I don't want that, so I'm just gonna cut another little piece to extend out. All right. So, some people may say that you should cut your cellophane first, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna cut it after I have it all out. Wear a respirator when you work with literally everything I'm about to work with. Do as I say, not as I do, etc. Huh? So I've got that. And it doesn't take long to get tacky at all. Cujo's just standing in the other room looking at me. Everyone sees you. You're beautiful. Miss, please go lay down. See him right there? Cujo, precious, go lay down. Okay, back to the art. Now that I have that sprayed, I can bring this back. Okay. Now over here, I'm cutting this sheet. Trying to use a piece that was already cut, and it is not going to be big enough. So let me cut another one. And typically I like to have a little bit of texture, some of the wrinkles in the piece for the wave look. However, I think this one I want it to be a little bit more flat, just so that there's only the color of the film. Just trying to make sure it's kind of as flat as possible. Not keen on that seam right there. Wonder if I could peel this up. The answer is no. We're just gonna have to love it just how it is. Be mindful of where your seams are. Where's Jeff's pusher around her? I don't know what this thing actually is called, but it's what Jeff uses for his vinyl stuff. I thought it would get most everything out, but didn't. We still got that cute little seam right there and right here, but that's fine. We'll just call it a choice, yeah? Yeah. A squeegee. Thank you. He is a cutie. He's my little man. What'd it do, Mike Reed? Corey's friend Mike's in the room. Jeff said, sup. So I'm just using this X-Acto to cut just along the edge. And then Just make sure that when you spray your spray adhesive that it kind of gets down on the edge as well so that it kind of rolls over. Okay. It almost looks pretty cool. Ooh. All right, I'm just going to cut this. Because it's just getting too sticky. Not bad, eh? You can still see through it a little bit, and it's still got all that awesome color. So, did I Ritterhoff it? I'm sorry. Okay. So now we have that down. Oh, see how you can kind of see this where the masking is for where I wanted that wave to be? I'm going to cut along that line. Very carefully, in theory. This is going to be where my second wave is. Ta-da! Make sure everything's pressed down. I want to make sure this is as flat as I can get it. Ugh, sorry, so sorry. Let me try to get you guys another vantage point. P.S. We love Anne Marie Ritterhoff and her awesome hair. Megan, as soon as I get to it, you'll be the first to know. A lot of times when people request I do something that I haven't done before, it takes me a little while to do research, get inspiration, and kind of work my way up to a piece because I want to do it justice. I don't want to just do a piece just cause. And so when people ask me to demo something or do a piece that's something I haven't really done before, sometimes I don't do it right away because I'm doing research and 100,000 other things. But I will get to it. I will get to it. Hello, Clara. You see my ceiling fan? Oh, yeah. I don't know if there's a way to get you guys on an angle that's not. Now there's a big light in the way. Yeah. There's no winning with this studio in its current ness. It is very shiny. Thank you, Tina. So, Now we got to mix some resin. The second layer, the foam is perfect. Well, thank you. I like it. Julie says, Claire, you don't know me, but I watch your videos. I am sure she super appreciates that. I love those little birds. You guys, I can't show you what Jeff's working on, but just know that when you see it, you're going to be like, wow. You can quote me. I love it when he airbrushes. I'm sorry I can't show you guys what he's working on. It's surprise. Hello, Karma Cat. For sure, better late than never. Oh, I don't know if I'm an expert, but I do my best. As a mermaid, it's required. So yes, I am using just resin because it just holds up to the intense heat that I'm about to impose on the piece. It just works for this. Art resin, nope, Art Coat from STONECOAT is our go-to resin. But it doesn't like the amount of abuse that I'm about to impose on this resin, unfortunately. Maybe I'll talk Mike into another formula, ocean resin. Isn't that mermaid glitter amazing? I agree, Valerie. So you guys, thanks for coming in and seeing what I'm up to today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We're trying to build our subscribers. Feel free to share the video if you like it, and share the video with people you don't like if you don't like it. Everything that I'm using today can be found on our website, artistilldeath.com. You can find that on my gloves or in the description box. Except for the cellophane. I don't have that in my shop, but you can find it on Amazon. I have that linked in the Amazon link down below. Exactly, Libby. We got to get that 50K. Where's the mermaid glitter? Julie, I'm not using it in this piece, but it is from Color Passion. With STONECOAT, what you use before you're starting to do the new waves? Yes. If I'm doing a wave that doesn't need quite so much heat, then I use STONECOAT. So if you guys have any questions while I'm doing this or any other video, because we go live every day, usually at 6 p.m. and it's usually resin art. Except for on Tuesdays, we go live at 2 p.m. all central. But if you guys have a question about what we do, feel free to ask. We do all forms of art except for, we do most forms of art, all except for like oil paint. Well, Karma Cat, thank you so much. Every order you guys put in helps our little world. Has it been 3 minutes? My arm says it feels like 3 minutes. Okay. If you're new, that sound is the air compressor. Jeff is in the studio working on an airbrush piece. It doesn't stay on for very long. Also, wear a respirator when you work with resin, all proper PPE. I don't have one on because we have a ventilation system, a very large space, tall ceilings, open windows, and you wouldn't be able to hear me if I was talking through a respirator. 2 minutes. Oh, thank you, Claire, for the link. Claire has done some awesome stuff with mermaid glitter. Okay, we need 2 blues and a white. Have you used Ember from Color Passion? I ordered it. I'm excited. I don't think I have, but I will look into it because it is a pretty color. I just haven't had a chance to use it yet. Okay. Need to get one more color. Now, when I do ocean pieces, I typically use transparent because ocean. You want your water to be see-through because that's just indicative of water. You can also try to use just minimal, like a paste or a powder. I personally don't think powders work quite as well, especially not for oceans, but everyone has a favorite thing to use, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that your favorite thing to use is not good. But what I will tell you is what I prefer. And for oceans, it's transparents. The transparents I use are from Color Obsession. They're tints, they're transparent. Like I said, they will never be opaque, but you can add a little bit more color at a time to build your color to make it darker, but it'll never go opaque, which is awesome for me because I like to use a little bit of color in the very beginning where my waves are lighter, and then add a little bit more pigment to blend between my deep ocean color and my soft aqua color. So the color I first mixed up is Blue Lagoon tint from Color Obsession. This color is Bondi Blue tint. Notice I put just 1 drop in there. And it's not a cheap pigment at all. It's made specifically for resin. So where alcohol inks some will fade and kind of disappear over time. That won't happen with these. They're light fast, color fast. This is my very light ocean color for where my water isn't so deep because the waves are coming up onto the shore. And then once I get that down, I'll add a couple more drops to this color for a good gradient or fade or ombre between this color and this color. The white I'm going to use is Titanium from Just Resin. Excuse how dirty my jars are. This is a paste. It's like a pudding consistency colorant. People ask me all the time the differences in a paste versus a tint versus a powder. And essentially, a mica is just going to be particles floating in resin, whereas a paste actually colors the resin, which is why when you use a powder, you can see the particles moving around often. You won't see that with a paste. I just want it to be just opaque. Perfect. Okay. What's up, Manuel? How's Austin? We'll be back there the first week of August to finish a countertop on 6th Street. It's not dirty, it's well used. You okay, Tudor? Boys. Okay, so I'm gonna put some clear where my water line's gonna be. For this, I'm gonna put it just behind where I have drawn out this wave. And the purpose of this is a couple things. I want to figure out my line of wave before I commit to having a color down. Also, it's going to be a separation between my colored resin and my white resin, because what I'm about to do is going to thin the resin a little bit, and I don't want my white waves turning a pastel blue as I'm pushing everything back into the ocean. So that's going to be kind of a barrier between the two. So now I'm going to put my shore color, which is the 1-drop Bondi. I'm going to add a couple more drops to make it a little bit deeper of a color. It's so cool that you can have a pigment that looks different just because you add one more drop of pigment. Waste not, want not. So it's going to look a little bit funky for a second while I have different colors just strewn about, but it'll make sense. Just trust me. Valerie, for this, I prefer titanium or angel white. In the end, will you list the tints you use, please? Sure. So this color, and this color are the same, but with different amounts of pigment. This last blue that I'm using is Blue Lagoon. And I'm going to blend them all together in just a moment so it won't look quite so crazy. By JoJo says Pretty Blues. Thank you so very much. I will list all the colors that I'm using at the end. If you're new here, welcome. Please like, subscribe, share the video if you liked it. Share it with people you don't like if you didn't like it. I meant to add some, dang it. I meant to add some this blue Bling It from Resin Art. So what I'm going to do is some of this. And when I'm mixing or blending the two colors in, it'll just mix into the resin when I do this. Since it's just a powder, it's a mica, it's no big deal. I'm just mixing in as I go at this point with that color. Sweet. Remind you of the Caribbean? Thank you. I think it looks pretty good. I'm actually going to do a little bit more of this. Hello, Melody. How are you doing? So you can see a little bit of these lines here from the foil that I used. Not foil, cellophane. It's not the cutest look, but I'll just end up doing another wave layer and that'll hide it just fine. Not stressed about it. Anything can be fixed with resin. All right, I'm going to add my blue. Nope, this is definitely not blue. This is white. This is totally white. I'm going to add my white right where the clear that I have down meets the first layer of resin. And I'm doing that because I want the white to hold on to the dry area and roll over the resin. You don't want a line too thick because it'll cover up all of your pretty work that you did, all the colors. I'm just making sure that it's got a good bit that's holding on to the dry part of the resin. And then after the fact, I'll come back through and edge up this line. You don't use very much white at all. When I first started doing oceans, I was under the impression that the white was the most important thing and it would just take over. And it didn't look good at all. I have learned. So you guys should learn from my mistakes. I need an attachment. B, do you have the platypus attachment?
What?
The platypus attachment?
It's not a good one. I don't know where it would be here.
You have an attachment on there right now? Will you hand me that one? The cake? Thanks. I was going to use a platypus attachment, but I don't know where it is. So I'm going to use cake attachment. It is a concentrator nozzle. I call it a cake because it's what it looks like. Do you use STONECOAT for deep pours? I want to do a memorial piece for my dad, but unsure which resin to use. If walls could talk, that is a great name. Yes, I use STONECOAT Supercast for my deep pours because you can pour them like 2 inches thick at a time. Okay, I'm gonna have my heat up to full 100%. I have no idea how high this air gun heat gun goes to. Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, there's a number on that
600 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is here in the States in Fahrenheit. Much love to everybody that knows Celsius, but I do not. I just never got that. And then I'm going to use high airflow. So the hardest the air will blow and the hottest my heat gun will get. I'm going to put my piece on a little bit of a tilt, and I'm going to keep my heat gun moving all the way down. It's important to keep moving or else you'll end up with a bare spot of knot waves. Hot enough to melt your face. Very fair point. Beyond the fact that you want to keep moving just because of you don't want to scorch your waves or end up with bald spots, I'm also keeping moving because I don't want to melt the adhesive that I sprayed to get my cellophane down. So some of my cellophane areas popped up right here, but that is okay. I'm gonna need some fire. 100. Hi, Sue. ATD sells really good whites. Thank you. What's up, Mako? How are you doing? So there's some areas that I wish created a little bit more cells. So I'm just hitting it in some areas with, let me bring you in for this. So for example, I think it'd be nice to have a little bit more cells, let's say right here. Right here. And so I'm going to hit it with not where the color of the flame is, that blue right there, with the area right out in front. I'm using that area so I don't scorch it. And I don't want to thin it down too much. So I'm just hitting it a little bit. And you see it thin out and start to sell in that area. Oh, I don't use any silicone ever with my resin. It is just a pain to try to clean up. Oh, thank you, Gail. You're so sweet. So the white that I'm using on this one is Just Resin Titanium. Clara just shared the link with you guys. Sue, I did not, but I will. I'll have Tudor remind me to send you an email, Sue. So now I'm going to add some more white just on the front line of this because of the tilt that I did. It's thinned out significantly, and I like a really hard white edge for my waves. And I'm going to get a whole bunch of that's what she said, and that's fine. It's super fine. It looks kind of abrasive at first, but it'll melt in as it self-levels and look just perfect. This is also where you can go in and change the shape of your waves if you don't like how it looks. I don't want to add too much more white. I just want it to look like it's rolling over itself. Very nice. Also, if some of your cellophane came up, this is a good time to kind of hide those little high pockets. So with this white, we've completely hidden the seam of the cellophane. Perfect. By JoJo says, last night I grabbed my heat gun by the front and flung my ocean piece against the wall. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, you can. This is the front of a heat gun that I singed to my arm accidentally when we were working on a countertop in somewhere, Maryland. That's fun. Will do, Sue. Now I'm using this little handheld torch just to go through and see. Ooh, there's just a little bit of bubbles in the white that I just added right here. And I'm using the torch instead of a heat gun because I just want to pop the bubbles. And if I use the heat gun, it's going to blow some air. And I don't want to create any more movement. No más movement. I just want to pop those bubbles. So there, I'm going to give you guys a flyover.
do that on here.
Just do something and then we'll add resin over it.
I can't imagine what that would look like.
All right, let's see what we got. I'm going to turn the light on as well. Nope, sorry about that. You can see some of the folds come up, some of the texture, which I don't mind this texture, but this I'm not so sure about unless they were more horizontal, but it is what it is. Hey Joe, I hope you're having a better today than your yesterday. You can see that slight sparkle come through. That's the Bling It blue that we used. Maureen, my pleasure. I hope you guys are getting inspired. If not, I hope we have entertained. Let's turn the flash off, see what we got. So because it's translucent, you can see the different layers of waves. From the first layer to this layer. Thank you, Arissa Rue. Love the name. Well, I appreciate that, Mako. Well, Julie, I'm always here to fulfill the orders. So, yeah. So, tomorrow, well, thank you, Karen. I think I have a fire sale to ship you, Karen. Right? The blanket comes in many different colors. Let me turn the light on again. Blanket comes in a lot of different colors. I just use the blue for this one. So probably tomorrow I'll add a third wave, and that wave will conceal a bit more this horizontal line. If it doesn't look like it's going to do that, I'll add another layer of cellophane and make sure that I don't include these seams in that one. So yeah, I'll add another line of waves, probably closer to the front. I think once you're this far into the ocean that you need to keep your waves closer up this way. I do ship to Australia. Why? Rose Yingling, beautiful name, just asked to join ATD's Poor People. If you guys haven't joined ATD's Poor People, that's where everybody in this group gets together and talks about art. So yeah, I hope you guys come and see what we're up to tomorrow. I'll be doing the third in this wave line, possibly adding more cellophane. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. Leave me your thumbs. Share this video if you liked it. Share it with people that you don't like if you didn't like it. And be kind to one another. You never know what someone's going through. We appreciate you guys so very much. B.
Oh, and remember, we do the tests.
So you don't have to. Oh. Where do you buy the cellophane? Julie, I got it on Amazon. I have a link down in the description box below this video. Also, Cujo wants to be in the video. Hi, Louise. Are you done making all that racket? You are. You're such a precious boy. Oh, Jenny, that's a good idea. I could have cut the seams with an X-Acto and flattened it out. Live and learn, you know? Well, I guess I could do it now, but then I'd wreck the waves. Where's it, Moose? Are you turning your head? Because they're so cute. Are you so precious? Are you just ready to go outside? You do want to go outside. Okay, let's go. And that's my Tudor and my Bowie beans. All right, you guys, have an awesome night. Tag us in what you paint. Post it in ATD's Poor People. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.